while we're on the subject of Dune, let's talk about Dune Part 1. I actually took my little sister to go see this movie, and she had no idea what Dune was at the time. And as we're watching the movie, I read the book, and I'd seen the previous adaptations before. And as we were watching the movie, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this movie is not explaining anything to the audience. My sister's probably so confused. And ends up she was, but I think it almost helped her get more into it because she started reading the books herself. I really, really like Dune Part 1 visually, but not narratively. To adapt Dune, it should have been adapted into a 3-part series. The first one being, the first volume. It should have ended with Paul escaping the attack, the Harkonnen attack. I think that's where the movie really should have ended. And there should have been a second movie that's all about Paul falling in love with Chani and becoming Muad'Dib and stuff like that. And then the third one should have been, the attack on the Emperor and the Jihad and things like that. But unfortunately, the movie, where it comes to its natural end point, there's 40 minutes after that. And the pacing of the movie is very, very strained because of it. And because the movie doesn't really explain a whole lot, it just feels like it's meandering quite a bit. But it's so visually interesting that I personally kind of give it a pass. Plus, I'm very familiar with the source material. I'm actually honestly surprised that it seems to be doing so well. So many people seem to like it. And as much as I have my own personal qualms with it, I'm really happy something like this is getting the recognition it is. Timothée Chalamet, I think I might dislike him as an actor, but he's in a lot of movies I like, and I don't mind him in this. I actually think he might be the best Paul of the three. As much as I like Kyle MacLachlan, he's not a very great Paul. I think Timothée Chalamet does a decent job in this first movie, but I feel like he should have bulked up for the sequel when it happened. Because my reading of the book is that he's supposed to be a kid, and you see him grow. Because I think the book takes place for the course of 4 or 5 years. Because he has a child, he has 2 children. No, he has a child, and then the child dies. This is not a spoiler for the movie, by the way, because they don't touch this at all in these new movies. I just feel like it's visually stunning. I love the Baron's great in this. I think I prefer the one from the miniseries, but he's great in this. I really like this director a lot. He did Dune. No, he didn't. He did Blade Runner 2049. So he's anything that this guy touches, I'm going to check out. But I think the biggest problem I had with it was just the pacing. I think there's great set pieces in it, but the narrative structure around the movie, it just feels too loose, too fluid, where you don't really understand where the scene is taking you, which is not a problem I feel like the book has, or it's not a problem I feel like the original Dune has for the first 2/3 of it. The original Dune movie, I mean, and it's certainly not a problem the miniseries has. So I think it's a interesting problem that's unique to this version, but I think its strengths far outweigh its weaknesses. And I think enough people complained about it, because I know I'm not the only one who complained about it, but I think enough people did that the second movie, Dune Part 2, fixes a lot of problems that people had with the first one.